And welcome back. If you caught the last video, I just really broke down the psychology of aliens in the 50s. And now we're moving on from that golden era of alien movies into the 60s, really the next phase. And this is the psychology of aliens in the 60s, which was filled with post-Cold War paranoia and this idea of cosmic wonder that was steadily running through us now. Now, the 60s were an identity crisis decade for humanity and by extension, our aliens. This was the space race era, where humans were no longer just looking at the stars with fear, but with ambition, and it reflected in our movies. Yet under this shiny optimism, there was still a lot of paranoia. The alien became both an invader and a mirror of our own political anxiety. Now, in the 50s, the aliens were metaphors for invasion. It was basically thinly veiled fears about communism and nuclear annihilation. But the 60s, that alien has evolved and they became more complex. Sometimes more hostile, sometimes godlike, but most often these guys were really misunderstood. So we shifted from constantly seeing them as trying to conquer us to now they were here to judge us, and that was different. This became the age, as I like to call them, the enlightened alien. And we saw films like 2001, A Space Odyssey, which was 1968, The Day the Earth Caught Fire, 1961, which shifted focus towards humanity's own immaturity. So the alien was no longer the villain. It was the cosmic adult in the room, silently observing our own destruction and judging us the entire time. So this was a paranoid state. Like the Cold War espionage had bled into sci-fi like everything else. The alien wasn't just out there, it could be literally one of us. And we started to see more of that in the films, like movies like The Manchurian Candidate, 1962, The Invasion of the Animal People. Like this captured that tension, the fear of infiltration, brainwashing, and a loss of like true individuality. So it also was a reflection of counterculture, right? We had a whole youth rebellion going on, psychedelics, and a new age spirituality and lifestyle kind of emerged. And the alien in some cases became a symbol of higher consciousness. We got to think about Barbarella, which was 1968, and Planet of the Vampires, 1965, which were kind of groovy, right in the times. They were surreal. They were just dripping with this cosmic like sensuality that we'd never seen before. The alien went from a monster to a muse in the sky we could look up to. Now the 60s represented a shift in the human psyche, like things were cracking us open. Space exploration was giving us hope, nuclear tension was giving us dread, and this psychedelic time we went through gave us some crazy imagination. So we saw some really interesting, notable things that come out of this new view of seeing the cosmos. Like I said, the films I think were most insightful would be The Space Odyssey in 1968, which was aliens as these evolved shepherds. I think that's one of the first times we saw that. The Planet of the Vampires in 1965 was kind of the gothic dread meets cosmic decay. Barbarella was erotic futurism and counterculture liberation, just dripping. Right, The Man from Planet X, which have this really influential series through the 60s, and just like a whole host of other movies that really put the alien right in our face in a way we hadn't seen before. So let me know your thoughts on this particular era of alien sci-fi. It was one of my favorites when I go back and watch these. Some of them a lot campier, but I think they're really having a cohesive message. And then let's look forward to doing the next era, which is going to be the 70s. So join me here and we'll talk about that era too.